Hello everyone, as we are approaching the year 2014, for those who are going to be partying New Year's Eve, be safe. So today we are going to kind of do a summarized but full course lesson using QuickBooks Accountant 2014. Now most of you out there will be buying the QuickBooks Pro. It has most of the stuff that you'll need, so Accountant does have a little bit more of the features, but for the most part, it's about the same. Okay, you can also visit our website for more detailed videos. So we have plenty of detailed videos already, and we also have our original full course that's broken down into several videos. Here we're going to do it all in one video for our full course. It's going to be once again a summarized version. It's going to give you a chance to look at QuickBooks 2014. So here we are to where we're going to set it up, and I'm going to do the Express Start. And over here you're going to be filling out your company information. Okay, and once you have it filled out, hit continue. And here you're going to put some more information regarding your company. And once we have the address and everything else filled out, we're going to hit create company file. And once you've done that, it brings you to this screen over here that you see. It's going to ask you to add the people you do business with, add the products and services, and add your bank accounts. I'm actually going to skip the first two for now. Okay, and I'm actually going to go to add your bank accounts. And so this is going to be bank 1, account number, opening balance, and the date. I'll make the statement date as of November. Hit continue. I'm going to hit no thanks for now. You can go ahead and read about that. And there you have it. I'm actually going to close out of over here. Okay, now once you've got past this basic point, you kind of have a couple options on directions. Okay, option number 1, you can choose to try to put a lot of information in the beginning, such as your chart of accounts, your clients, your vendors, or you can kind of do it on the fly. Okay, it's really up to you. I'm not going to do everything up front right now, but what I will tell you is the first thing you would want to look at is list and chart of accounts. And over here you could see this is where we set up our bank. Now, one thing that you can consider is use subcategories. So under bank, for example, okay, I could do enter a new account, and I could do bank, and I could write checking, and then I can even write the last 4 of the account number, and I could do it as a sub of bank 1. I'm going to hit save and new, and then I can write savings. Same thing. And you will see over here that now you have your checking account separated from your savings. So in reality, that beginning balance should have been put in here, and that would have totaled the 500,000. Okay, and you can always do a journal entry, but that's something later. So that's the first thing I would look at is your banks. You could add credit cards over here. So if you want to add your credit cards as you'll be using them, and writing expenses. For credit cards, you're going to do banking, and you can do enter credit card charge, and you can create one this way, or same thing, you can go to chart of accounts right over here as we are, hit new, and there you have an option for credit card. So I'm going to write Amex ending in 1234. Okay, I'm going to hit save and new. So now I got Amex hanging out over here on its own. I could do it that way. That's good enough. And then you can look at different things such as expenses that you think you may be utilizing. And keep in mind, you can do everything on the fly. So chart of accounts, that's the first thing I would look at if I'm going to put anything. Okay, now that we've done that, We're going to do one example of your basic accounts payable, which is also known as your vendors paying your bills. Okay, money that goes out of the company. Okay, yeah, we'll attack income. We all want the income, not have to deal with the expenses, but usually expenses come before income, unfortunately, right? It takes money to make money. So vendor center, as you can see, we have no vendors. I can go to enter bills, and this is what I mean by doing things on the fly. Okay, so right now I have no vendors, but I could go right away to bills. I don't have to go over here and create a new vendor. Okay, I can go to bill and I can start writing the vendor out. So I'm going to write vendor 1. I'm going to hit tab, and I could do a quick add, which if you don't see the need to putting all the information, which I do that sometimes with credit card transactions, like for a restaurant, you know, I'm not going to go and put the restaurant address and all the information, the email. I'm just going to do a quick add. But of course, if it's one of my major vendors that I'm going to deal with on a constant basis, or something that I feel is address worthy, I'm going to go to setup, and I'm going to put all the information over here. Okay, so go through all the fields over here. Most of the time all you need is stuff over here, and maybe the tax setting, if this vendor is eligible for 1099, such as an independent contractor. Make sure you put their tax ID number over here and check this. So at the end of the year, an automatic report comes up with this. So this is one thing to look at, tax settings. Okay, but I'm going to cancel that right now, and I'm just going to do a quick add. Okay, and we'll pretend that I put all that information in there. So there you go. I just added a vendor on the fly as I'm entering a bill. Okay, I'm going to put the amount. Okay, expenses, same thing. I can add it on the fly. It could be inventory, and that would be under items, or it could just be an expense. Right now I'm going to keep it simple, and we'll just say that this was for a cell phone. So I'm going to write cell phone. I'm going to hit tab. A little thing comes up, says setup. Yep, it defaults to an expense. I'm going to hit continue. I can make it a sub account of whatever I want. So for example, telephone, I could put cell phone under telephone, hit save and close, right? And then that way maybe I have cell phone, I have office phone, I had 800 phone, and I can put them all under subcategories. So don't be afraid to use subcategories and make it nice and organized. It's a nice thing, but at the same time, you don't have to be redundant about it. So you got to pick and choose what makes sense or what you just don't mind. You could bundle all this up under telephone if you really don't care to itemize it. So the more you itemize, maybe a little bit more work, but the more detail you have. So it's really up to you. Okay. A lot of cool new features up here as well. I'm not going to get into everything right now. So a lot of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. So save and new. I just created a bill. Okay. I'm going to go back to enter bills. Okay. And let's just pretend real quick that we have a credit. So the telephone was 1,000. You're like, what? This is crazy. You still had to pay it. You called, you complained. They gave you a $500 credit. So I'm going to go back to vendor 1. But now I'm going to check off credit over here. Okay. So we said $500 credit. Okay. I'm sorry. Actually, we did not pay it yet. I have not shown you that step, but we entered it. Okay. We got charged for it. So $500 credit. Save and new, save and close, either way. And now I'm going to go back to vendors. I'm going to hit pay bill. Okay. And you will see that I'm ready to pay vendor 1, that $1,000. However, there's a $500 credit available. Of course I'm going to use it. Set credits. Hit done. And there you have it. And now we just pick this bill over here. And here's another little cool feature that, if you want to utilize is if you don't want to pay the whole invoice and you just want to pay partial, I can actually come over here and change it. So I can still use my credit, so it applies officially. I'm going to pay them $250, and that way it's going to leave me a balance of what? That's right, $250. Okay. So if we had discounts, we could set it over here. If you want to go to the bill and see it, it's right over here. The date, put whatever date you want. Method, you could have paid credit card over the phone, right? So we have that credit card that we'd set up. Of course, if you used a different credit card, this is what I mean by adding things on the fly. See, right now I can add new. So I don't have to go back to chart of accounts and add it. I can add it as I go. I'm not going to do that right now, but this is what I mean that don't worry about major setup in the beginning and spending a lot of time in the beginning if you don't want to. You could do a lot of things on the fly. Okay? Yes, it's nice to be nice and organized and have a game plan up front. Why not? You know, either way. So, check. It could either to be printed if you're going to print them out, or you can just handwrite them and assign check numbers. So let's say I handwrote it and I'm going to assign a check number. So check number was 11111. There you have it. I'm going to hit OK and done. Now that we've paid it, I'm going to show you one last thing under accounts payable for now. I'm going to go to banking. I'm going to go to write checks. Okay, there's a few different ways to get to this, but what I wanted to show you is that, you know what, I made a mistake. I didn't want to write 250 or the check got lost. Whatever the case may be, you want to void this payment out. So once you're over here on the left hand side, edit, you hit void bill payment check. You hit save and close. You're going to hit yes. And when you go back to vendors, paying bills, you will see that at 500 is now available for you to pay whatever amount you want to pay it again. So you could still do the whole thing of I'm going to come back and pay another 250, or you could pay the whole amount if you change your mind. So that was the last thing, and we are going to move on now to accounts receivable, which is also about getting money in, income, the good part. Not always if someone's not paying you, but yes, it's supposed to be the good part. So we are going to start off with customer. Same thing, customer center. We have no customers yet. Let's create an invoice. Invoice means that you did not get paid on the spot. If you got paid right there on the spot, it would be more like enter sales receipt. So you have a couple of different ways to go about it. But creating invoice is usually done when there's an open balance. So create invoice. So again, a lot of cool new features up here for you to review. Okay, a lot of shortcuts to stuff. Same thing, set it up on the fly, customer one. Same thing that we went over, quick add or setup. I'm just going to do quick add right now. We have the date, invoice. Of course, if it's a new business, you may not want to start invoice number 1. So, you know, do something like 2001. I know everybody says 1001, but isn't that the obvious? So 2001. All right. Okay. So over here, we're going to put the quantity. Item code. So same thing. We're going to create it on the fly. We don't even have one in here. So we're going to say that this was a service. And we're going to call it marketing. Is it a sub item of something? We're going to say no. You can give it a description if you want. Marketing packages. And account over here has to do with the chart of accounts. So it has to be usually some kind of income. Unless you're going to do PayPal merchant payment deduction. But right now we're going to stick on income. Okay, so you have sales. Of course, you can create new incomes. So you can create on the fly a new income called marketing packages. So you can separate income stuff, okay? And you can make it on its own, or you can do under sales. Okay? You could do that. And so I'm going to hit OK. But I'm going to take it another step with you guys. Let's say under marketing packages, I have package A and I have package B. I could go back to add a new one. And I'm going to write package A, sub-item of marketing. And same thing over here. I'm not going to create a new income code because this all goes under marketing packages. Okay? There's no reason to create a package A and package B over here unless you really want to know, but you can pull up reports by this. So that's where it becomes a little bit redundant. And just to complete the process, I'm going to do package B, sub-item of marketing again. And under marketing, hit OK. And there you have it. So I'm going to create an invoice for package A. They're going to grab one marketing package of this, which costs $5,400. Yep. It's a pretty penny. Package B is $2,700. So now there's a balance of $8,100. I'm going to do save and new. Either way, once again, save and close. So that's step number one. Step number two, it's been a couple weeks or whatever it's been. I'm going to go to receive payments. So customer one, let's say they only gave me $3,000. Okay. And we'll say they gave it to me here. They gave me a check. Check number was 1111. And so 3,000 applied. Okay. And I'm going to hit save and new. However, a week later, I realized that the check bounced. Okay. So I'm going to go back to over here. And this is a cool new feature that's also on What's New 2014. This button over here eliminates like the 5 manual steps that we used to have to do before. So we're going to record a bounce check, hit OK. This payment hasn't been deposited yet. Okay, you guys, I just realized that the payment was only applied and not deposited. And why is that? It's because we got to go to Edit, Preferences, under Payments, Company Preferences, and uncheck this box that says Use undeposited funds as default deposit into account. And basically all we're saying is we would like to designate where we want it being deposited to right away. So I'm going to hit OK over here. I'm going to go back to Receive Payments. And you will notice that now I have the option over here to select where it got deposited to. So I'm glad we kind of ran into the snag because you kind of got to see how we got to work around it, you know, when it happens for you. So now I'm going to hit save and new. And I'm going to hit back. And now I can go back to my record bounce check. Remember, it was a week later. The check bounced. The bank fee was $20. And I do want to charge my customer $20 for the fee. So this is what's cool about it. It's going to add an invoice automatically for $20. And I'm going to hit next. And it does all this stuff automatically just with one click of a button. You don't have to think about the 3-4 steps that go around that where you had to before. So this is golden right here. And there you have it. Now you see the $20. That's the open invoice. The $3,000 was bounced. So now we still have an $8,100 balance and 20. So I'm going to hit save and new. And let me show you how that looks like. There you go. 8,100 and 20. These two are still open. Now you got a replacement, but now they gave it to you with a debit card. Well, you could put the number here. You don't have to, or they gave you an e-check, or there's more options over here. So you could say that, you know, we'll just say credit debit, that they give it with a credit debit. I don't have to write the number down. And I'm going to hit save and new. And now it's been 2 weeks later, and they gave a check for $6,000. However, you will notice that $6,000 is more than what they owe. Okay, so what happens then? So $6,000 gets applied to both of these. You can see the arrows. And overpayment of $880. What do you want to do when finished? Leave the credit to be used later, or refund the amount to the customer? If you leave the credit, has a credit in there. If you refund the amount, I'm going to hit save and new. It's going to go right away to checking. So we're going to write a check over here. You can either do to be printed, or you could just write the check number once again over here. So we're going to write check number 1555. I'm going to hit OK, save and close, and there you go. Everything's been done. And you'll see if I go back over here. Even though I chose the wrong bank account. Should have wrote checking instead of just bank one, but that's fine. And there you have it. There's the $880 refund that we're issuing for the overpayment. And now that we got to look at accounts payable, which is the vendor side, I'm going to end this video with showing you a little bit about reporting. Yes, there is a lot more to QuickBooks than this. This was a good intro to it. As I mentioned, we have other videos that go into more detail. We also have a forum that you can visit, ask a question, and we will answer it for you. Okay? So under reports, your bread and butter is profit and loss and balance sheet. That's really your two main bread and butters, especially for taxes. Is your profit and loss. You know how much money you made, brought in, how many expenses you had. So this fiscal year, I'm going to usually customize report and change it to cash versus accrual. And so there you go. You brought in $8,100, $20 in expenses. You're a rich man. Okay, or woman. Okay, we don't discriminate here. So balance sheet kind of gives you your assets versus your liabilities. That's something that you're going to get more into when it comes taxes. It's something a little bit more for your CPA and tax person as well. And then there's all sorts of other reporting. Okay, I mean, you know, cruise through them, play around with it. It doesn't hurt anything to look at reports. And that's it, you guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this QuickBooks 2014 full course. Visit our website where we also got contests going on. So learn, have fun while doing it. And I'll see you guys later. Happy New Year's.